Hi guys, we are back with another episode of Calf Kick Sports. We got a special guest in the house, probably a guest with the best second name I've ever heard of,
Hey,
Joey Von Blankenburg.
how's it
How
going,
you
guys?
doing, man? How's
Pretty
it?
good. Good, pretty much. How you doing, man?
Good, man. I know you got a fight coming up, December the 11th.
Yes.
How's training going? You in murder mode yet?
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, as soon as we sign that contract, sorry, 1 second.
That's all right.
Yeah, as soon as we sign that contract, we're ready to go. So I feel like it's been a long time coming. It's been two
Yeah,
years
yeah.
since I fought, so I'm just
Yeah. No, I saw on
ready.
another podcast, it's obviously been a little while. It's been a
Hmm.
couple of years now, in fact.
Hmm.
Was there a particular reason for that at all? Or, you just
Uh,
wanted to take some time off? Or is it because of the pandemic? And that's a kind of common answer, isn't it?
yeah, oh yeah, it was mainly because of COVID. Like they pretty much shut down all the events we had going on here,
Yeah.
and the mainland and the U.S. was shut down too. So it was just kind of forced to take a little break. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
How is it training then? Like, is certain facilities shut down and, are you mainly just, are you just training at home? I mean, how does preparation look
Um,
like in a situation like this?
For right now, it's actually they've loosened a lot of the restrictions. So
Yeah.
like my gym's been open, my strength and conditioning place has been open. So for the most part, the training has been back to normal.
Yeah.
But as far as like events and stuff, all that is still shut down. It's kind of
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
How strict is it? I mean, what are you allowed to do? Because it's a bit weird. Like in the UK, it's just no restrictions whatsoever.
Oh,
So,
lucky.
when I hear other countries, because like it was pretty strict here for a long time, man. Like it
Mhm.
was really strict. And then I think we had this day called Freedom Day in
Yeah.
July. And then I look, we're not going back, man. Whatever happens, we're not going back. Um,
Like,
what kind of restrictions are over there in Hawaii at the moment in your part?
it's actually pretty loose now. Like before, it was like it was you couldn't go to restaurants. All restaurants were takeout only. Now they actually have dine in. You have to show your vaccination card, right?
Yeah.
Gyms used to be only like 25% capacity, but for the most part, they're pretty full now. You
Yeah.
still gotta, have masks when you're in a store, things like that, but it's eased up a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you're lucky that you got such a, it's Hawaii is so beautiful anyway. You can just go
Oh yeah.
outside and it's not a big problem, not
Oh
going
yeah.
to a restaurant. It's not like London where there's not really that much greenery at
Yeah,
all. Yeah.
yeah. Got the
But
city going on.
yeah, I mean, going back to, obviously you were born and raised in Hawaii,
Mhm.
beautiful country, by the way. So we
Oh
spoke to
yeah.
a guest a couple of weeks ago, in fact, Mariah,
Yeah.
Sam, and
Yeah.
she actually was based in Hawaii for a bit. She went to California. I think she's moving back to Hawaii because
Yeah.
it's so beautiful over there.
Actually
How
saw
is
her.
it? Yeah, yeah. How is it
Yeah.
like kind of, being born and raised there, man? It must be amazing, honestly.
Oh yeah. It's one of the most beautiful places, it's awesome. I mean, it's a whole different culture, the
Yeah.
mentality here, the people here. It's just like it's hard to see it when you're in here, but usually like if I fly and go to the mainland, it just makes me homesick right away. It's just
Really?
yeah, oh yeah, it's so different. The people are different, the whole vibe is different. It's just a lot of like warrior culture too. I'd say
Yeah.
that's one of the big things here is like in some places, I don't know how it is in other places, but for here, it's like where you grow up kind of fighting, right? If you
Yeah.
don't like somebody, you would fight and then you'd be best friends after that, right? So it's kind of yeah, it's kind of a fun culture to grow up in because it's unique.
Yeah, because I thought that was just a stereotype, man, like the tough Hawaiian or the tough fighting Hawaiian.
Yeah.
But you see that in the UFC, man. There's so
Oh
many
yeah.
tough Hawaiians out there, man.
Oh yeah.
Like not just Max, man. There's other ones as well.
Oh no, yeah. It's
Yeah,
definitely like a bloodline, I'd say, like the pure Hawaiians that are in there. You're not even pure, just the partial. It's goes back generations, you can tell.
yeah. And do you think that kind of aided you in terms of like how you are as a fighter? In terms of like building up that mental toughness, because as you said, you had to grow up fighting people at a young age.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think so. It definitely helped a lot. And it's yeah, it definitely
Yeah.
helped. Yeah. Yeah.
So what really got you into martial arts, Joey? What was the
Um,
kind of trigger, would you say?
I feel like I can place it back to when I was in high school. And there was this kid who was like, oh yeah, I started doing Muay Thai. And he
Yeah,
was talking about leg kicks. And I was like, oh, what is that? And I thought it was nothing. So he's like, yeah, let me kick you in the leg. And I
yeah,
remember he like just blasted me in the leg. And I was like, oh my God, I was one of them. I was like But the weirdest eye-opening thing I ever had, I was like, oh, that shit hurts. It's ridiculous. So then from there, it actually made me want to start doing Muay Thai when I
Yeah,
was like 16. So from there, I started training on there, and it was kind of just a good way to keep me on a good path, because I was kind of hanging out with just the wrong kids doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing. But from Muay Thai, I transitioned into Jiu-Jitsu, and then from there, it just kind of snowballed. It was
yeah,
about 10 years ago. I started Jiu-Jitsu when I was 18.
yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So I did hear that. I don't want you to get you to repeat yourself twice in a row. But I know that you've been training in jiu-jitsu since 18.
Mhm.
And would you say that's like kind of your biggest strength when it comes to MMA, your jiu-jitsu game?
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like I have a strong advantage. I feel like a lot of people, at least from here, right, there's a lot of stand-up guys, so they don't really want to get taken down. So it's kind of beneficial for me to kind of have the ground side first and then
Yeah.
work on the striking as a fundament. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's we've seen that before. Is it like, I mean, just an example, you got Charles Oliveira. He's got
Hmm.
such great jiu-jitsu. He doesn't even care about getting taken down. I mean,
No, not at
he'll
all.
just pull guard. Like he did that to Michael Chandler quite
Yeah.
easily. He just
Looked
pulled
amazing.
guard, and again, he's not worried about being off his back. And I'm sure that's like a lot of kind of fighters that have that jiu-jitsu background. Where do you see yourself winning this fight, Joey?
Um,
Against your opponent?
I feel, I mean, definitely if I was betting man, I'd say, on the ground, but I feel like I could, I'll take it anywhere I can go. If I can catch him on the feet, that's fine. If I can catch him on the ground, it's perfect. I'm not too picky when it comes to a finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just like, I just want to get in there, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's also about getting some cage time for yourself as well after being
yeah.
for 2 years.
Oh
Um,
yeah, definitely.
what do you think is the biggest advantage going in, taking that time off, taking those 2 years off and then going straight into a fight, like what do you think is the biggest advantage of that, would you say?
Um, I think, well, yeah, I mean, I was just able to take that time to kind of fix kind of some holes in my game.
Yeah.
Mainly, I'd say mentally. That was probably the biggest thing I had. I was just putting myself in these uncomfortable positions where I knew I'd probably wouldn't end up on top and it would probably challenge me, or going with people that I knew were better than me, that kind of thing. I
Yeah.
was able to work on that a lot more and kind of just sharpen up my mind just to keep it tight, keep it locked up. So there's none of these intrusive thoughts coming in.
Yeah, of course. Now, going on to that, because, you know, I think everyone's kind of suffered from anxiety. I've suffered from
Oh
anxiety.
yeah.
Other people have suffered that are probably watching the podcast from anxiety.
Yeah.
How do you deal with anxiety going into fights, or do you feel anxiety? Is that a thing for you?
Oh yeah, always. I mean, I feel like this is going to be my 19th fight, and I still
Yeah.
feel, scared every time. But I feel like it's just a matter of trusting your preparation, right? Knowing you've done everything you could, but also managing your thoughts, right? It's like it's easy to just let these like, oh, this guy's going to whoop my ass, or I'm going to get submitted, or I'm going to look stupid, like all these kinds of things. But if you kind of just focus on, like what you want to do as opposed to what they want to do, and kind of focus on the outcome you want, that kind of thing, it kind of helps it run a little more smoothly, right? And I feel like the anxiety is always there, but it's like the second you get in that cage, that option to run away is taken away. So it's kind of your mind just switches and you go, okay, I'm here, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because classically you got that Mike Tyson bar, like he's like he goes into the ring, yeah, and he's like, look, man, I'm shitting myself, man. I think I'm gonna just get destroyed out there. I'm gonna lose to this guy. I'm gonna get KO'd, and then he gets closer to the ring, and I'm like, I feel more confident, and then he
Mhm.
takes more steps, and then he's like, I feel like I'm gonna smash this guy, and then as he gets into the ring, he's like, I'm a god, I'm gonna
Yeah.
destroy this man. Um,
Yeah.
is it almost like that, where you got this up and down like battle with yourself? You're like, I feel like I'm gonna beat this guy. Hang on, I might get smashed. Oh no, I'm gonna definitely beat this guy. Like
Oh yeah.
constant like that, or is it just all one level for you?
For me, I mean, it's more so it was like that before. I feel like now I've kind of been able to handle those thoughts a little better. But
Yeah.
definitely when I was in my earlier in my career, oh yeah, those it was a roller coaster, the emotions just going in. And I feel like I've lost fights before I even stepped into the cage because I've just was so convinced that, something bad was going to happen that I set myself up for failure.
Yeah. Do you have
Yeah.
any traditions like just to kind of settle your nerves before a fight, or do you do meditation? Do you go to a sports psychologist? Because all fighters are different. Everyone's got
Yeah.
their kind of traditions or techniques to kind of
Yeah.
manage that emotion.
For this one, I've actually been meditating every morning. I have like this little
Oh,
like
awesome,
15
man.
minute practice. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like a visualization kind of thing. So I've been doing that for a while and it's actually been helping a lot. Like it's been keeping me calm, keeping my thoughts focused and just, kind of honing it in.
Yeah.
It's
Nah,
definitely meditation. Yeah.
and how is that something you started before fighting or after, would you say?
I'd say after. I feel like I wasn't really too aware of my mental thought process,
Yeah.
until the deeper I got into it, definitely.
Nice, man. That's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
awesome because it's always an interesting question, because I feel everyone's a little bit different. Even had someone like I don't feel anxiety, man. What anxiety? There's no anxiety.
Yeah.
You got like people like Connor. He was like he never displays. He's just ultra confident. Uber
Oh
confident
yeah.
getting into it. But then you got other people that absolutely shit themselves. Like you
Mhm.
got George St. Pierre, man. Like he was terrified, man. He would
Oh yeah.
literally terrified. And we've had a conversation with Nate Marquardt, and he even said, "Yeah, man, George was he'd get really scared, man." And he's the goat, man, in my
Oh,
opinion.
it's crazy, right? He's like
So
what,
yeah,
20 some title defenses?
exactly, man. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
But is there like so? I'm just gonna change gears a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you fight at 135.
Mm,
And you actually get down to 125. Now you look kind of big, man, from
yeah.
125 to 135, man. Like that must be a rough weight cut. Like I'm surprised, man, that you can make that weight. Like, is it hard or is it easy work?
Oh, it's always hard, especially. I mean, right now I'm kind of lucky because he wanted to meet at 130 for this one, so it's not too
Oh, you
bad.
wanted 130, damn.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
so I'm actually a little stoked, but yeah, it was never fun. 125 was always rough. It was always a battle for me, but I always felt like I was like it's funny you say like I look big because I always felt like I was kind of small for 35. Because I would look at guys at 35, I'm like, Jesus Christ, these guys are fucking huge, like compared to me. But now, yeah, I mean, and even when I was an amateur, like I was fighting at 35, I was walking around at like 132. So I
Oh
was actually,
wow.
yeah, I was fighting under the weight when I was going to
Yeah,
135.
that's
But
crazy, man.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's process, like I'm still figuring it out, but I feel like I kind of have it for the most part dialed in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your walk around weight outside of camp, or are you just generally around the same weight all year round, or?
Yeah. Right now I was 154. I'm like 150 now. I've dropped a couple, but I've
Oh
still got
wow.
about 20 pounds. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
got
you go
float
to
20
fight in
pounds.
3 weeks. Like, how's the are you on track, would you say, or is it just gonna be
Oh
rough?
yeah.
You
Yeah,
just
yeah. I feel good. Yeah. I mean, I know it's gonna be a cut either way, but
yeah.
but I feel like if I can get to within like 6, 7 pounds of just water weight, that'll just come off. That's usually
What do
been
you
what.
think of one championship, yeah, they've got this thing where you're not allowed to cut that much weight.
Yeah.
You have to have a certain level of hydration.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not going to fight,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the way to go for fighters? What do you think of that?
I think so. I mean, I think weight cutting is kind of stupid. Like it makes no sense to like, I'm gonna drop all this weight, but I'm gonna meet you at this heavier weight. It's like, why wouldn't you? I mean, it makes sense why people do it, right? Because you have bigger guys that'll meet you at that weight, but
Yeah.
that is definitely dangerous. It's not good for the body. It'll be, your kidneys are screaming, your body wants water, you want food, but I think that's probably one of the smarter ways they do it, making sure
Yeah.
you're hydrated, making sure you're fighting at a more natural weight, right?
Yeah. And so would you want to stay at 125, or because I know you go, switch between weight classes, but as you get older and your body grows more and more over
Mhm.
the next few years, I
Mhm.
mean, you're 28, right?
Oh, I'm 31.
31.
Yeah.
So that's fine, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
33, so
Hey,
that's
there you
good.
go.
You made yeah, but like, your body's still going to change over training over the next few
Oh
years.
yeah, yeah.
125 going to be extremely hard to kind of,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, I mean, even for this last camp, we were actually looking to move up to 35. So I think definitely I feel like 135 is probably going to be the next, the possibility in the future. I mean, I feel like going down to 130, it might be a good test to see if I could still go to 25,
Yeah.
right? Because I feel like, but definitely 135 is most likely going to be the look moving ahead.
I always find weight cutting. I know it's just like a lot of weight cutting questions, but I always find it
No,
really
no, it's good.
fascinating because you've got middleweights that cut like 20, 30 pounds. Like Yoel
Yeah.
Romero, he
Oh
cuts
God,
a fuck ton of weight, man. Like, and
it's
then
an
you got
animal.
like Paulo Costa. He doesn't even look like a middleweight.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
uh,
it's a giant.
it's ridiculous, isn't it? Like, he's 6'1", yeah, and he looks like he's all of 240 pounds. I just don't know how you guys do it, man. Honestly, like, there's a reason why I'm not a fighter and you guys are.
No, I mean it's a whole science, it's
Yeah,
definitely like the food you put in, right? The amount of carb, and it's definitely water manipulation. For me, at least, that's a big part of it. It's
yeah.
just flooding your body with all that water the week of, so you're able to sweat more, manipulating your salt level, stuff like that.
No, it's respect, man. I'm trying to get down to 170 and like lock off all this COVID weight, man.
Hey, you can get it, man. You can get it. It's there.
Just normal weight, man. Like what?
That'll come off. That'll come off.
Yeah, that exactly. Yeah, it's just about activity, but
Yeah.
working remotely is difficult, isn't it? Like
Oh yeah. They can
you
be
guys
hard.
are lucky that you just train for a living and you don't have to worry about any of that stuff, which is
It's
great.
fun. Makes a big difference.
So, I wanted to ask you something actually.
Yeah.
I know. Am I right in saying that Max Holloway follows you? No, does he follow you?
Yeah. That's my training partner.
No way, that's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. He's an animal.
and have you known him for a while? Like, what's he like as a training partner?
Oh, he's cool, man. It's so fun having somebody that high level in the gym. It's just like the way he thinks is so different, and the way he just, I mean, everything. Yeah, it's so awesome having someone like that around. His mentality, the stuff, it's like he's dropping these little gems of knowledge on us every once in a while.
Yeah, yeah,
It's cool. Yeah. I mean, I've been at that gym for about almost 4 years now.
yeah,
And yeah, it's been good. He's fun. He's really a loyal guy, I'd say. He takes care of his team, keeps his circle small.
yeah. He
It's
seems it
awesome.
as well, man. He seems like such a, you know, if you don't like Max Holloway, I mean, there's something wrong with you, man.
Yeah,
Honestly,
right.
like,
Exactly.
yeah, exactly. Which MMA fan doesn't like Max Holloway?
Yeah,
It's
it's a warrior.
ridiculous, isn't it,
Yeah,
man?
yeah. How can you
But
not, man?
do you feel like, kind of being associated with, I mean, he's practically a world champion in my
Oh
eyes.
yeah,
He's a
yeah.
world champion, still a
Still
world
is.
champion.
Yeah.
That second fight, it was close, but I felt like he won that fight.
I thought he won. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he won. Everyone, most MMA fans thought he
Yeah.
won, but
Oh yeah.
it was a close fight still.
Yeah.
Being surrounded by a world champion, nearly every other day, does that kind of spur you to go, look, man, I can get to that great level, man, like where I can really capitalize and earn a big paycheck, man, later down the line.
Oh yeah, definitely. And especially because like he was saying, a lot of people feel like you got to leave Hawaii to get the training. They feel like we don't have the level of guys that, the mainland and the US have. But I feel like he's a perfect example of showing, if you have the right people around you and the right mindset, it's like you don't need to go leave to go to the mainland. You can stay right here and just have the exact same results.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, man.
Yeah.
And it shows as well, like he's been training in Hawaii for years now,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
he's still at an amazing level. I mean, even the fight against Dustin Poirier, the second fight, I was amazed, man. Like that guy has got the best pound for pound chin
Oh,
all
100%.
time,
Yeah,
all time, man.
100%.
It's
I
ridiculous.
wish I had that chin.
It's insane, isn't it? Like, do you ever think like, wow, man, like that's nuts, man. Like, you must be superhuman. Like,
Oh
does that
yeah.
show in sparring as well? Like when he's sparring people,
It does what?
does that chin show in sparring, like how tough he is, or
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, but I feel like more towards the last, I feel like he doesn't really spar so much now. He
yeah,
kind of does like live movement. But I remember when we first started, like, oh yeah, they would be banging in there. It was some
yeah,
more, yeah. But I feel like it's also he's Samoan too. I don't know if that. I feel like that kind of has a thing to do with it because he's got thick bones and his cardio. I feel like
yeah.
the cardio he has really helps the chin. Like the Nate Diaz. I feel like guys who have really good cardio for some reason they just tend to have really amazing chins.
That's the thing, isn't it? That must be a
Mhm.
correlation because I
Oh, I
feel
think
like,
so.
yeah, when you got amazing cardio, you could just take a lot more damage, man.
Yeah,
Everyone does.
definitely.
Like you got
It's
Nick
weird.
Diaz, Nate Diaz, Max Holloway,
Mhm.
Tony Ferguson, in
Yeah. Oh yeah.
endurance. There must be a thing, man. I want them to do a
Yeah.
scientific study on that.
I was
But
gonna say, yeah, I guarantee they
yeah,
find some correlation.
that's crazy, man. Like
Yeah.
that's amazing that you're just training with Max, man, like on a
Oh,
regular
I'm lucky.
basis. Do
Yeah,
you
he's
feel
a
like that's really helping your striking as well?
oh yeah, definitely. Like he's such a yeah. It's just there's little gems he drops every now and then, or even just watching him move. Like
Yeah.
his level of movement and the IQ he has. It's just so Me even to fight somebody like Yair and go out and make him look like that. It's just,
Jesus.
yeah,
People were writing off Yair before that as well, man. They were like, yeah, Yair is, he's just going to get smashed. I'm like, Yair is a very fucking good kickboxer, man.
yeah,
It's
he's
a
an
bad
animal.
stylistic matchup for Max. And
Yeah,
Max just showed, look, man, I'm blessed, man. Like, I'm on a
yeah. He's
different,
tough, man. He's a different breed, different level, right? There's levels.
definitely, man. 100%. So who would you say? Okay, I'm not gonna say Max Holloway, yeah,
Yeah,
who's
no,
your
no.
favorite fighter in the UFC, but other than Max, yeah, who's your
Yeah.
favorite fighter in the UFC? Would you say?
Oof, it's a hard one. For a while, Masvidal was one of my big top favorites.
Yeah,
Like, I followed his career when he was younger. Yeah, Masvidal. Definitely Brandon Moreno is one of the top.
yeah, easily.
Sanhagen, he's a beast.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, a lot of those guys. Peter Yan, Aldo, man. There's so many. Even when you go back to the old school, like Pride, you had like Igor,
Yeah,
Ensign. Yeah,
fuck.
those are
Even
like
Von
this.
Blankenburg, man. Yeah, because we similar age, yeah, so we kind of understand a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though we weren't like we were I mean, I only watched Pride after it was finished.
Oh, me
So
too.
it's an
Yeah.
interesting story with me for Pride anyway. I actually watched it like as if it was a TV show, and I didn't know
Oh, really?
anything. I do nothing. I googled nothing. I
Yeah.
Wikipedia'd nothing. So I was almost watching the fights in the Grand Prix, yeah, without any knowledge of who won.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah,
That's
yeah. So
awesome.
I was watching it 2000 all the way to 2006. Yeah, all the Grand. I was blown away, man. I couldn't believe, yeah, how good Pride was. I mean,
Oh,
they
yeah.
had some killers back then, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh,
Golden
yeah.
era. Who's your
And
favorite Pride fighter in Pride? Would you say?
Pride and Pride. That was so, I mean, definitely, I think Igor and Ensign and Egan. You ever seen those guys? Ensign and Egan.
Ensign
Yeah,
Inouye,
yeah, yeah.
that's scary. Like he took some scary damage against Igor as
Yeah,
well, man.
dude, he was a beast. Yeah, I feel like that fight was one of the scarier ones too. He was a just stand and bang kind of guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Or even Rampage, like Prime Rampage, Prime Vanderlei, like a
I
lot of those
love them,
guys
man.
were
Yeah,
Mark Coleman, yeah.
Sakuraba or
Yeah, oh,
Sakuraba,
Sakura,
like
yeah.
he's
I
like
mean,
so underrated in the
oh
MMA,
yeah.
isn't he? Like,
Oh yeah. The Gracie killer, right? That was
yeah, exactly, man. Not see, when you got the new school eras, and I called it post McGregor era. Like, they don't know anything about Sakuraba, man. They don't know anything
Oh no.
about old school Mark Coleman or Crow Cop, and
That's crazy. Oh, Crow Cop. Oh my God.
do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
these guys are missing out, man. So if you guys don't know about Pride, go watch it. Like,
Check it out. Yeah, that was
you
and that was
guys,
like the no steroid policy, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So he just had
What
some
do you think of? I mean,
superhumans.
obviously, you're a clean fighter, but
Yeah.
do you think that's something that is that like would you be cool with that? Say if MMA all of a sudden overnight, yeah, they go, yeah, look, just do all the steroids you can, man.
Yeah.
Just do whatever, man. Do all the steroids, do all the drugs, yeah. Um,
Jacked.
yeah. Is that something that you think would be fair? Because when you think about it, you still get people that do steroids anyway,
Oh yeah.
regardless of
Yeah, definitely
testing.
going to. Yeah.
What do you think
I
of
mean,
that?
I've always thought they should have like a separate organization where they're just like, here, go wild. Like you guys want to do whatever you guys want. It would be like 400 pounds of muscle. Like, and I feel like at the end of the day, like it might help a little bit, but I feel like if it can kind of, I feel like it's more so for like recovery. I'm sure they got EPO performance and stuff like that, but I feel like there's been guys that have not been on steroids that have, taken out guys on steroids. So I feel like it's I mean, yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, I definitely feel like if they create a separate organization, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Because then you could just get the most insane freak shows ever. Like doing like 15 rounds of fights, it'd just be insane.
Imagine they had like a veterans division, yeah, where they're just all on steroids. So you got like Anderson Silva on steroids, Vitor Belfort.
That would be awesome.
Now, I mean, like now, currently, right now, that would be
That'd be
amazing.
cool.
I'd
Yeah,
love,
oh,
I'd love to see
you
that.
get a peek of in their prime, right? That would just be
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
That's
But
awesome.
so I mean, I'm just gonna go into a little bit like your hobbies because
Yeah.
you put in like a nice post here the other day. Is like thank God for Scorsese for
Yeah.
creating Italians. Oh, that's
So,
so funny. Like, are you a big movie buff? Would you say?
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say too far, but I definitely can appreciate a good movie, like a really well written, really, yeah. I mean, it definitely helps pass the time too sometimes. Like, I don't know if I don't know if it's kind of cliche, but one of my favorite movies was Snatch.
Oh, I like that movie, man.
So
Yeah,
good. Yeah, that one was so awesome. I loved it.
you know something? It's embarrassing because I'm from the UK. I don't actually
Yeah.
remember a lot of that movie because
Really?
this is a long time ago that I watched it,
Yeah.
and yeah, I got to rewatch it because it's literally been years, man. But
Yeah.
it's like a quintessential British movie, isn't it? Snatch.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, yeah, that's what I've
Yeah.
heard. So
Everyone loves that movie, man.
classic. Oh, it's a classic. How can you not, right? You got the boxer, you got the
Yeah,
amazing,
yeah, yeah.
got the
Don't knock him
dog.
out, and he just knocks him out. And then like
Uh,
they pause and like he's fucked, man. That was a great scene.
so classic. You're like, oh shit.
Exactly. What would you say that you do to kind of unwind? Then like you just sit in front of the couch, Netflix and chill, or like
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while, watch some TV, or we're lucky we get the beach over here, so we get to go to the
that's
beach.
fuck
Yeah,
Netflix, man. Go
yeah,
beat.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. You get to go outside.
Yeah,
Yeah, the beach is one. I'd say definitely the beach, or just I mean, it's always fun to veg out once in a while, but definitely being out in the sun, it's kind of recharging, kind of
yeah.
regenerating. Yeah,
That's awesome, man. I mean, like I can't relate, man, because we've got no sun here.
you gotta come visit, man. You gotta come down. You'll love
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna come down to Hawaii, man. I definitely have to and hit you up in it for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, definitely, brother.
But like, I mean, like, is there anything you're watching in Netflix at all?
Um,
Just
so far,
trash, anything trashy, really. It could be anything.
trying to think. I mean, the last thing I watched was kind of anime. I don't know if you ever heard of Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
like that
yeah,
a lot, man.
yeah.
They're
It's
doing
so good.
some live action thing. I don't know about that,
I
man.
heard, yeah, like a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always kind of iffy, right?
Yeah, I don't know about that, man. Like, I always get pissed off, yeah, when like, no offense to you Americans out there, when you guys take something and you kind of Americanize it, like they did that with Old Boy, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Do you remember that? Like, an American version of Old Boy, and it's like, why, man? It's perfect. You don't
Right?
have
Why ruin
to,
a good thing?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you don't have to kind of rehash it or reinvent the wheel. It's
Yeah.
perfect the way it is.
Yeah, it's a weird thing they do. Yeah, I don't understand it either. It's like, why mess up a good thing, right? Why
Yeah,
can't you just
exactly.
appreciate this for what it is?
For sure, man, for sure. So look, we asked this to all our guests.
Yeah.
You got McGregor, he's got his signature whiskey. Dustin, he's got his signature hot sauce. What would a Joey Von Blankenburg signature brand look like if you had one?
Phew, I would say like line of CBD products or something like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be perfect. Some Von Blankenburg CBD.
Do you have any sponsors in terms of CBD kind
Yeah.
of? Yeah, you do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a New Leaf CBD.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Nice.
awesome. It's good.
I've never actually tried CBD. I've tried the other kind of stuff, but
Yeah, me too.
like
It's a good transition.
the hard
Yeah,
stuff.
right.
But like,
Good stuff.
yeah, why is I don't actually know why it's so good for recovery. Like, what's the educate me, man? Why?
I mean, dude, I'll be honest, I don't even know either, but I've heard good things about it. So it's just, I mean, like I said, I'm the same as you. I'm doing the other stuff, so it helps too. But I feel like I mean, definitely, I feel like for sore muscles, they have like a little balm and stuff. And I felt a little difference in it. Definitely feel, because I mean, I feel like training every day, you're always sore. So you try to figure out new ways of recovery, right? So I definitely feel like it helps a little bit. I mean, allegedly they say it like binds to the pain receptors, right? And it's supposed to, the cannabinoids bind to the pain receptors, and it's supposed to kind of help you not feel it as much. And I feel like it's kind of helping. I mean, I've been doing it for about 2 or 3 weeks now from the company.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, I feel like it helps a little bit.
But
Definitely.
doesn't weed help just as good or better?
Yeah. It's like having like decaf kush, right? They say, right? It's like decaf coffee. Why would you do it?
Yeah, because you don't want to be well, actually, do you get popped for weed in where you're at the athletic
No.
commission you're at right now? No,
No, I don't know, yeah. Yeah, I don't think they test for anything actually. They're just like, go crazy, guys.
So how is it? Are you gonna? I think you mentioned yesterday. I can't remember. You acclimating, to Missouri, because I know you're going to be fighting in Missouri on December the 11th. Are you acclimating to that right now, or
Yeah, we're actually going to fly up next Monday.
Yeah.
So we're going to get there on a Tuesday, and then we'll have about 3 or 4 days to kind of get used to the time zone, that kind of thing. It's going to be fun. It's going to have a little adjustment period. It's going to be cold. I mean, I'm going to be freezing my ass off for sure.
You're not used to the cold, yeah?
Oh, not at all. You hit 70 here, and people are like getting out there like fancy slippers and putting on their jackets. It's like Hawaii winter.
But I'm so bad at like Fahrenheit, man. I'm just like yeah, I get
Oh,
confused, man. I'm just converting it now. So it's 40 here now.
ooh,
40 Fahrenheit.
what would that be? Celsius? I don't even know what
Yeah,
that
no,
would
no,
be.
no,
That
not
sounds cold
Celsius.
though.
No. I'm actually converted it. So it's 40 degrees Fahrenheit.
Ooh,
Yeah, is that
chilly
super
over
cold
there.
for you?
Oh yeah, yeah. I thought that'd be like layers for me.
You die in England, man. So
Nah,
it
I'd
gets
be
colder than that. It gets like even colder than that, believe it or not.
really.
Yeah,
Oof.
man. It's
That's,
super cold.
does it
Um,
snow too?
yeah. I mean,
Oh really?
every February it snows, man, as well.
Oh, oh,
So
that's
have you never
cool.
seen snow?
Never. That's crazy. Yeah, yeah, never.
Mad, man. That's mad. Like that's in a way it's no, I mean like yeah, it's nice to see snow, like, but when you get used to it, because I've been here what 33 years now.
Yeah.
I'm not,
Kind of over
yeah, you
it.
kind of get used to it and you're like, whatever, man. It's funny
Boils in
though,
water.
'cause, when I've had a few colleagues at work who just moved to the UK and they're like,
Mhm.
oh my God, man, it's snow. And it's like, it's just fucking snow, man.
Like, is this shit again?
Yeah, exactly. Who cares about
Oh,
snow?
that's funny. Oh, that's
But yeah,
funny.
Joey, we also asked this. This is it's quite a deep question. So
Yeah.
I want to ask this to you, and I want to know
Okay.
what your response is.
Yeah.
Um, you know, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, where do we see Joey Von Blankenburg, the fire, the civilian, could be anything? Where do you see yourself 5 to 10 years from now?
Ideally, man, I'd say I'd like to have world champion, some organization, some level, definitely. That's always been the goal is just world champion, top five, just I feel like I've got a good 6, 7 years left. I have a window. So I'm feeling,
Yeah,
I feel like definitely world champion. That'd be the goal.
awesome, man. That's what it's all about, isn't it,
Oh
man?
yeah, yeah.
Just
It's
push it.
a
What
yeah.
about after your career? Because classically, it's sad because you see a lot of fighters they fight all the way into their 40s because they've
Mhm.
not been smart with their money, or they haven't thought. But the next step, like after, I mean, obviously you wanna kind of quit around 40 mark, 41
Yeah.
mark.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what do you see yourself doing after? Do you see yourself getting into coaching or helping
Yeah.
other people's giving back?
Oh yeah. I definitely feel like I'm gonna be involved in some way, maybe as a coach or even just building up the next generation. Because before
Yeah.
this, I actually was coaching kids jiu-jitsu, right? So that was fun for a
Oh man,
while.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So I feel like definitely, I mean, it's gonna be so hard to even just want to leave. It's gonna be hard to put it down, but I know it's gonna have to come, and I feel like it's just passing on that knowledge to the next generation. Definitely gonna find some way to give back and help people chase their dreams too, like people
That's
help me.
awesome, man.
Yeah, for
Joey,
sure.
man, you've been a great guest. I'm going to give you the final and last word.
Yeah.
Where can we find you? Where can our listeners find you, our viewers find you? And
Um,
any sponsors, anything you want to plug, go for it, man. It's your spotlight, bro.
yeah. Instagram 808 Joe. I got the first one on there. My sponsors, New Life CBD, my management, ECB, my wife, kids for putting up with me during this camp. It's never easy. So
Shout out to the wifey.
yeah, always right.
Yeah.
My teammates at Gracie Technics and my strength and conditioning coach, Darren Yap at Tactical Strength and Conditioning.
That's
And
awesome.
you for having me on, man. Appreciate it, bro. It was fun.
Always, bro. We're gonna have you on again for sure. A
Yeah.
hundred million%. We're gonna have
Looking
you
forward
again.
to it, man. Looking forward
But
to it.
yeah, bro, like I really enjoyed it, and good luck for your fight in December the 11th. I hope you smash the
Appreciate it,
guy
brother.
respectfully to
Can't
the other
wait.
guy, and have a good one, man.
You too, brother. Appreciate it, man.